9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do go live. I am very proud to say that I've so far done it every single week of 2024. So that's a good thing. Since my last video to today, it's only been a week, but it might as well feel like an eternity in this hobby. The amount of stuff that has happened recently. You have the theft that happened in the Pokemon, or I shouldn't say the Pokemon hobby, but the trading card hobby. $1.5 million. $1.5 million. We're going to talk about that. I think it's obviously sports, but it's overarching, and it's definitely going to come into Pokemon. I'm going to talk about why we're going to see that happen more and more, and I'm going to get a little deeper into that. And like simple things I think people could do to help protect against that. We now officially have hats on Evolutions. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what that set will be. Will we talk about Team Rocket again? No, probably not. But I want to talk a little bit on just like upcoming sets. You know, you got the Dragon set, you have the Evolution set, you have the Team Rocket set. What's going on with Twilight Masquerade? If you don't follow this channel, I was probably the only person that was bullish on Twilight Masquerade, which has seemed like that is working well in my favor. But we have that, and then shout out to Z and Band W. Messaged me on Instagram right before I went live, not to be confused with Z and G, somebody who should give me a PK5 promo code, but that's for another video. But Z and Band W messaged me. He already has his One Piece promo from his PSA magazine graded. We're going to talk about that a little bit, how he was able to express grade it. What grade did he get? I'm going to talk about that in today's video. And then the Poke Post. If you don't know what the Poke Post is, it was a special event that went on in like a few European countries. You're able to get a Pikachu or Eevee promo. You're able to get two. One that you could keep for yourself. One, it was the Poke Friends post, so you would write your friend a letter and then they would also get this promo card, and the cards ended up going pretty crazy in price. Crazy subjective when we see some promos. It wasn't, on the ball Pikachu level. Shout out to Rattle Pokemon, made a great video today kind of going into a mini rant about that. So we didn't see those crazy high prices, but we still saw that card selling strong at $150. Pokemon Center just released where you can get those promos, but with a huge catch. We're going to talk about that. I'm 2.5 minutes into this video, and I've just literally listed the topics. That's how much stuff has gone on in the last 7 days. There is never a dull moment. And more importantly than that, we got two more things to talk about. Collecticon Jersey is about a week away. It's on July 20th, so at the time I recorded, so it's like about a week. And then right after Jersey Collecticon, you got a week break, and then it goes to Charlotte Collecticon. I'm going to talk to you about my plans for Charlotte Collecticon. There's a lot. One silly week in this hobby. There's a lot to go. All right. Anyways. First thing we'll talk about, theft in this hobby. So most of you guys know. If you don't know, I actually linked the video in the description of today's video. Check out Rattle Pokemon's video. He made a great breakdown showing the video camera angles, some of the thieves that were involved. He did like two parts of it, one where he showed their face, one where he kind of just showed all the cards that were in the case, like what was stolen. Pretty much what was stolen was like high-end sports, but more importantly, high-end baseball. So we saw a lot of like Mickey Mantle rookie cards, just Mickey Mantle cards in general, Hank Aaron cards, Nolan Ryan rookie cards. Shout out to my Nolan Ryan rookie card. That I don't know if you guys know, that Nolan Ryan rookie card sits behind me every single live. But some more high-end sports, but somebody was able to walk in with a group of people, and it was more or less a coordinated attack where the people work in the booths. Coordinatedly, a bunch of other people came in and were able to distract the people working the counters, and then somebody who was in the background who looked like they were just stacking chairs, and they weren't just stacking chairs for like 2 minutes or 5 minutes. They were stacking chairs from what they said for about an hour. That person stacking chairs, and then as soon as all the people working the booths were distracted, the guy who was stacking the chairs stopped stacking the chairs, walked over, grabbed the most expensive case that they had, valued at a whopping $1.5 million, walked right out the door. All the people that were distracted, going, oh, look in that direction, they all vanished. It took them a little while to realize that case is missing, and just like that, boom, $1.5 million. Poof, gone. I've already seen the conspiracy theories of people saying insurance fraud. I don't know. And I'm going to tell you why I think it could. I'll give you like both sides, like why it could be insurance fraud or why it could probably not be. I don't think it's insurance fraud, and I'm going to tell you why. Real quick shout out to Zach K. Welcome to the Ride Chew. Appreciate you being a channel member, Zach. But this is a weird thing, and I want you guys all to just, if you take anything out of today's video, I'm going to give you just a little advice. Everybody right now watching this channel, you probably have a decent trading card collection, whether it's Pokemon, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh, rest in peace, shout out to Basic Trainer, whether you have, just a lot of paperweights in MetaZoo, whether you're a One Piece fan, Magic the Gathering, whatever you have, you probably are sitting on a lot of product, and after enough years, enough time in this hobby, your collection is probably going to start to increase in value. And you're probably sitting with a decent amount of collection and a decent value. One of the things we saw happen at the Dallas Card Show is we saw a case walk away with a bunch of graded cards. When you talk about high-end sports cards on the highest end of that hobby, they're more or less like a fingerprint. And what I mean by a fingerprint is each card, it's not like Pokemon where... Here's a random coughing from, what is this? 159, 2023. So, Crown Zenith coughing, right? Very cheap card. But this card doesn't really have a fingerprint to it because any coughing from Crown Zenith is going to have pretty much the same cut. It's going to be the same card. Now, for vintage sports, centering is so wildly different for all these vintage cards. There's a bunch of staining that happens to these cards, different corners issues, especially on the highest end of sports. Cards that are, valued in the thousands to tens of thousands and, certain circumstances, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Each one of those vintage cards has its own fingerprint because of, like, the cuts and everything. Those cards will be very hard to move for whoever sells those. And yeah, they could crack them out of the case, but like I said, they have that sort of fingerprint to them. And Rattle highlighted that in his video, and he talked about like blowout forms. If you're not familiar with blowout forms, it's like the E4 of sports. That's probably a bad analogy, but we're going to go with it because this is a Pokemon channel, so it's just a message board for sports. But there's a blowout forms detective, and they really look at like trim cards, counterfeit cards, any kind of cards that were resubmitted through PSA, tampered with cards. Those people will be able to track those cards hit in the market because, like a Mickey Mantle rookie card, they each have their own fingerprint. It's going to be hard, even if they were to crack that and recase that card. There's enough like staining issues and very, very clear, examples of what that card is that people will be able to trace. It will be hard to move that product. Now, for Pokemon, a lot of you guys are probably sitting on a lot of sealed product. The unfortunate reality of sealed product, and especially when you're talking probably what most people own is modern sealed product. The unfortunate reality is there is no fingerprint for an Evolving Skies booster box. There is no fingerprint for a Lost Origin booster box case, a Brilliant Stars booster box case, a Team Up booster box case, a Cosmic Eclipse booster box, any sort of check lane blisters, 3-pack blisters, specialty boxes. There's not really going to be a fingerprint on any of those products for you. And those products, if they ever are stolen from you, will be very, very hard to ever track down. Be honest with you. If you get your Evolving Skies booster box stolen tomorrow, you probably will never find that again. Where if you had your Mickey Mantle rookie card stolen tomorrow, the chances of finding that Mickey Mantle rookie card are way greater than your Evolving Skies booster box. Now, what can you do? What can you do as somebody that a cheap way to just hedge against that? One thing I recommend to everybody out there, and maybe this is good, I'll put this out there, and maybe even if a few people listen, is look at your collection. Figure out like a couple items that put yourself in the shoes of a thief. If a thief were to walk into your house right now and they were going to steal some of your Pokemon stuff, what would be the first things that they would grab? And that's easy, right? Just think, if you were a thief, what would they grab first? Or what is, if you have your one booster box tucked away in the farthest reaches of your attic and you have to move 100 booster boxes to get to and 100 pallets, and that's probably not going to be the first thing. If a thief breaks in, what are they going to grab first? All you really got to do, and I recommend for a lot of people out there, is go on Amazon right now, or not even Amazon, Apple. Just get yourself 4 Apple AirTags. RIP, rest in peace to all those Android users. Probably, I don't know if the Apple AirPod or AirTags work, but they come in like packs of 4 for $99. Not only do they come in packs of 4 for the Apple AirTags, you're also able to engrave those. It's like a free engraving service for your AirTag through Apple, so you can put like a unique number on it or whatever. So if anybody ever did find your product, you know, you can say, well, my Apple AirTag has number 11111 on it or something, and so when they pull out that AirTag, they could verify, oh yeah, that number he said is on this AirTag is also on there. But you make it a distinct code, the same way you would do like a ATM pin, like a distinct code. And what you do is, those Apple AirTags, they have battery life that last about a year, and that's lasting a year if you ping that thing every single day. But if you have it tucked away, like, put it in a product. Make a fake product. I'll give you an example. These sit behind me. Every single live for, I don't know how long. Heart Gold Soul Silver booster box. Oh, that was my mic. Heart Gold Soul Silver booster box. Boundary Cross. We'll do something very special on today's channel. We'll do a Boundaries Cross booster box opening for everybody out there. Let me get this. There you go. Well, very special for everybody out there. How many times on YouTube channels do you see people opening up booster boxes of Boundary Cross? No. It's literally full of Fusion Strike packs. But if you want, you just take an AirTag, you just throw it into here, because if somebody walks in and they see booster boxes of Boundaries Cross or Heart Gold Soul Silver Triumphant or Call Legends Unleashed. Here. Sorry, I know. Shouldn't walk away from my thing. But here, these are all empty. Noble's Victories. Triumphant again. Another Heart Gold Soul Silver Undaunted. Here's a Next Destinies booster box. Here's a Dark Explorers booster box. Here's another Boundaries Cross booster box. Here's Heart Gold Soul Silver base booster box. Here's another Noble Victories booster box. You can just load those with 36 garbage packs in it. Get yourself a sealer, seal it up, throw that AirTag in there, and somebody will probably walk up, if you were going to get robbed, and they're going to grab any of those booster boxes sealed, is multiple thousands of dollars. I don't think there is really one booster box. Dark Explorers, multiple thousands. Next Destinies, any of the Heart Gold Soul Silvers, Boundaries Crossed, Noble Victories, every single one of those booster boxes, thousands of dollars sealed. So if you ever get robbed, they're probably going to grab those booster boxes. They're not going to look at it really close and say, is this the right wrap on it? They're going to look at the side. They're going to see, oh, it's a sealed box with packs. You just throw a little AirTag in there. But you don't just get the one. You throw 4 in. And you know what? That battery life for that AirTag is going to be good for 1 year. And in order to replace the battery, it's the same battery if you've ever replaced the battery on like your car remote for your, like to start your car, to unlock your doors, lock your doors. It's the same exact battery. It's like CR2032. The only reason I know that is because you can buy packs of 50 of those batteries. And when you work out price per battery, it works out to be about 50 cents per battery. So every year to replace all 4 batteries, it's going to cost you $2. And then, you know what? When you are that person that puts an AirTag in one of your, you could slip it in places. Those AirTags are the size of a quarter. You could slip it in everywhere. Here's a quarter for you. Remember, on this channel, I tell you, always make your own luck. So this is heads on this side, heads on this side. You always make your own luck in this hobby. But you just take this quarter, you could slip it in anywhere. Look, if it was an AirTag, look, here's your AirTag. You just put it in there. close it up, seal it up, and then that's it. And then you will be that person that when somebody steals it, you're going to have 4 ear tags. All are going to pin in the same exact place, and you're going to be likely to get your products back. Now, if you have that ear tag, maybe you have some high-end graded cards that you have on display. You think if somebody's going to walk in, they're going to look at every one of those like slabs. You just get a slab, get your little ear tag, throw it in the plastic like this. Maybe you could tape it to the slab. You could put another Pokemon card on the back side of the slab. So imagine that this Pokecoin is your ear tag. Now you just get another Pokemon card. You put the back in. You put it just like this. And that's it. So when somebody walks into your house and they're grabbing all your high-end slabs and they're throwing it into a bag because they're a burglar and they don't see that, because this card is blocking the ear tag, it doesn't have to be like the most MacGyver type thing that ever existed. It just has to be enough where if somebody steals it and and you come home and you instantly identify it, you can now go find wherever your stolen stuff is. Do it. You probably are sitting around hundreds of thousands of dollars, some of you people, like surrounded by Pokemon at this point. Spend the $100 to get 4 ear tags. And if you are super cheap and you don't want to spend $100 to protect your 6-figure Pokemon investment, go buy one for $30 and just pray, which is a weird thing to say, pray that the one item they steal is the one that has your 1-4 tag or 1 Apple ear tag. That's all. Just do something like that. Protect yourself. Imagine if they just had an ear tag in every single one of their cases at this Dallas card show, which, first of all, wild to think that an entire case got stolen. If you ask my personal opinion, did I think that actual scenario was possible where somebody could walk into a card show with hundreds of other vendors, hundreds of people, and walk away with an entire filled case, especially a case with cards inside valued at $1.5 million? Did I think that was possible? No. But we now know it is possible. And I'm telling you, in this hobby, you're probably sitting on so many cards and so many sealed products that don't have like unique enough fingerprints where they'll be if you're sitting on high-end trophy cards and you have some high-end 1, 2, 3 trophy 2014 World's Championship promos, yes, those cards have very distinct fingerprints to it. If anybody ever tries to crack and regrade those cards, they're very easy to find. But most people don't own those cards. Most people own cards in this hobby that are, sure, you can talk about some hollow patterns, how some hollow patterns are going to be like a fingerprint for a card. The problem is with some of these old PSA certs, if you don't have high-res scans that are really showing that hollow pattern, you might not have documentation of some of your PC because, one, maybe you bought that card, you didn't write down the serial number either, so you don't even know the serial number. You gotta just protect yourself as much as you can, and that's a way to protect yourself for $100. Do it. Just buy 4 Apple AirTags. Buy 8. Spend $200. Be a baller. There's no annual fee. You don't have to pay anything. That's one way to just protect your investment. But real quick, I just looked down. Pokemage said AirTag is too expensive for the 40K Pokemon investment. Yeah, it's like spend $40,000 on Pokemon cards. One $30 AirTag. No way. Total ripoff. But no, it's one way. And if you just have a handful, like, people aren't not going to know. And then if you can track somebody down with your Pokemon product that they stole, you get to be highlighted in a Rattle Pokemon video. There is nothing, I know Rattle very well. There is nothing that Rattle would like to see more than for scammers to get caught. And if you can make a video where somebody steals your product, and Rattle would destroy those people. It would be the best video ever. It's one of those videos. Now, I don't know where entrapment comes into this conversation, but You ever seen the videos where, I forget the guy, he's a super famous YouTuber, I'm sure somebody in the chat knows his name, but he makes like fake Amazon packages. He puts it on people's doorsteps, and there's cameras inside, so you see people open them, and then when they open them, sirens go off, and fart spray gets, shot out, and confetti bombs go off. It's all kinds of crazy stuff this YouTuber does just to catch people stealing packages off people's doorsteps. I'm waiting for the day somebody makes a fake Heart Gold Soul Silver Triumphant booster box, just places it on their Collecticon table kind of in the corner with the Apple AirTag in it, or maybe you just have people watching that booster box from afar and wait for the person that goes by and scoops it up and tries to steal it from you, because I want to say it was as recently as Card Party, the first Card Party, where somebody like had a Team Rocket booster box stolen. Those are very, very like stealable things, very easy to steal. So when the person makes a video and then they get caught stealing, but I don't know if that's entrapment. I don't know the definition of entrapment. ZMB said Mark Robber. So ZMBand W, that's his name. Not to be confused with Z and G. ZMBand W. So ZMBand, what I mentioned earlier in today's video. So first I'll just say that's what I recommend for you for like preventing cards from stolen. Actually, I'm going to talk about Z and Band's card in a little bit. I'm going to talk about his One Piece. First to market, graded play from the magazine promo. I won't get there yet. I want to talk a little bit more about the Dallas Card Show. But $1.5 million. Now, is it an insurance fraud? It's tough to say. And the reason why I say it's tough to say is it doesn't make sense because all those cards have fingerprints to them. I think it was just somebody stealing those cards. Now, if somebody stole a lot of sealed product that doesn't have that unique fingerprint to it, I think that would be the easier insurance fraud scam. Plus, when they were showing the videos with the people walking around, it seemed like a lot of people had very clear identifying features, tattoos, stuff like this, things that will be easily traceable back to that person. There's pretty much nothing as permanent as leg tattoos or arm tattoos. Shout out to Whatnot. But, these people are going to get caught just by their tattoos. So I don't think it was some well-orchestrated, master insurance fraud scam, unless all these people were wearing fake tattoos and it was some crazy higher level that even I'm not part of. But I don't think that was the case. I think it was just some brazen people walked into the Dallas Card Show, saw an opportunity to steal $1 million worth of cards with a very, very little bit of just time. They were able to distract people and walk away with $1.5 million. This is the unfortunate reality. This is not, nor will not, be the last time you hear about stuff like this happen in the hobby. There's going to be thefts that continue to happen in this hobby, and I put it in the title of this video. Pokemon plus hype plus investing equals theft. Because when the hype hits this hobby and all the people invest in, and because when you're investing, you're hoarding this, you're sitting on it, you're probably storing it in your house. Most people probably don't have like climate controlled storage units. If they do have a safety deposit box, it's probably the smallest safety deposit box they offer, or maybe the middle size, or even the largest size. Even the biggest safety deposit boxes they have don't store that much. So where are most people realistically probably storing their product? Now, a lot of people's houses, if you live in America, their security system is the Second Amendment, so a lot of those people are at least protecting their house that way. But even some people out there don't. And the Second Amendment only works if you're actually at home when you get broken into too. So there's a lot of dangers. This will not be the first time this happens. This will continue to happen, and that's just part of a growing hobby. We're seeing it happen now in sports with 1.5 million. We're going to see it happen in Pokemon too. It just is what it is. But so now, real quick, Z and Band W. He sent me an Instagram message. First of all, hindsight. Well, not hindsight. Transparency. I have not gotten my PSA magazine yet delivered to me in the mail that has my promo card in it. Yes, I am a very sad panda that has not happened, but I haven't even got my magazine yet. It seems like I always get my magazine a little late. Fingers crossed it comes soon, but Z and Band must have got his already. opened it up. It looked good. He must have, I don't know if he overnighted it. He's in the chat right now. Maybe he could let us know whether he overnighted it or just, priority mail express or however he got it to PSA pretty quick. Must have done a faster turnaround time, and he already got that card back, and he hit the PSA 10. And what did he do? He sent it to the vault, and he immediately sent it to auction. So with the PSA vault auction turnaround time, it looks like Z and Band's One Piece promo card will be at auction in the next 1 to 3 days. So we will see the absolute definition of a first-to-market play thanks to Z and Band. And we'll be able to watch what his One Piece promo does, doing what everyone here has speculated. Because the big speculation was, one of the problems with the first-to-market rush to grade and play is when you send your cards to PSA, a lot of times people would get that image back, and then people would put like a 7-day listing or stuff like that with just the photos, and they might not have the actual card in hand. But some people were always afraid to do that. What if that card was lost in shipping? What if it took longer to get to them? Blah, 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 blah. So a lot of people would grade their card and wait till they actually had it in hand to list it for auction. Or especially if you're trying to send it to a consignment service. Again, Z and Band sent the card. Shout out to Z and G. If you're going to get that card, unless you're getting your submission right from PSA shipped to Z&G, you're going to get it to yourself, then you're going to send it to a consignment service. There is going to be a time that is wasted in that. So, real quick, Z and Band W said, United States Postal, Priority Mail, and the PSA One Piece Special Service should auction tomorrow. So, we're going to see it. And then, because it's already at PSA, it's already in the vault. It was just one click to go from his submission to auction. I cannot wait to see how this play works. I told you, this One Piece card, if you watch my Most Live, I went on a little rant. I'll give you the real quick Cliff Note version of it. I think this card right at release, we saw super high prices in that 150 range went before a lot of people had them. We're already starting to see the raw prices of that card drop down a little bit. But that's because the most supply of that card is going to be right at release. Like I just told you, I don't even own my card yet. By own it, I mean it hasn't been delivered to me in the mail yet. So the more of those cards that hit the market, it's really going to pull down prices of that temporarily. But in the long term, because there is a barrier of entry, like I talked about with different promos that have been released in the past, the barrier of entry for this One Piece promos, you had to have a PSA magazine membership. And just because of that barrier of entry, there will be demand for this card in the future. And then when the big supply hits the market, that will be the lowest we ever see. And then in the future, I think the price trajectory of a card like that is only going to go up. I do not see a huge dump on the market, and I do not see a stagnation after this supply dries up. And then I do not see a downtrend in 6 months from now for that card. I only see gradual increases in price. And especially with the One Piece IP as it is, One Piece hasn't really got to see a lot of very, very limited specialized promos. This is the first limited specialized promo. One of the questions Z and Band asked me before I went live was, how many people have PSA memberships? I do not know. But you got to keep in mind, most PSA memberships are not people who are deep into the trading cards. For the most part, I would say the most people that are in the PSA magazine realm are probably sports cards people. So they don't even get this promo because you have to elect to get the TCG magazine. And then there's probably a small minority of people that are super engaged in the TCG aspect of this, but they have even changed over their PSA membership. So they might still be getting the sports magazine. So I don't know how many are doing the TCG aspect of the magazine, but I have a feeling that number is relatively small in relative to the demand what's going to be for this card. And it's just going to be one of those perfect examples of, and this is where I gotta tread lightly. This is where we all have to tread lightly. I'm going to talk about this promo card like everyone knew about it. And why I say everyone knew about it is PSA made Instagram post. PSA sent out emails. Not only did PSA send out an email, they accidentally shot their load early and sent out a PSA email about this promo card like a month or two before they were supposed to, before they were even being shipped out. Like it was this could just be PSA marketing. We'll ask Nat Turner next time he's on, but they accidentally said, hey everyone, we're sending out this magazine with your One Piece promo. They're going to be in Card Saver ones. Like, they went through, and then they sent out a, oops, sorry, didn't mean to send that. It seemed like really good PR on PSA's behalf. It didn't really seem like a, oops, sorry, this multi-million-dollar company that has multiple people on our marketing team accidentally sent out a massive email to every single person in this trading card no way. But with all that said, just because I think everyone knew about it, but the reality is most people probably don't follow PSA on Instagram. Most people don't follow PSA on social media accounts. Most people don't follow social media accounts that much. And then most people don't have the PSA magazine or PSA membership to begin with. So that accidental email that went out to their entire PSA subscriber email list, they have to still be on that list. Like, there could be a group of One Piece collectors that are not on any of those, don't follow PSA's Instagram account, especially if they're not grading cards themselves. They're not following any of these social media. So even though I think everyone knew about this card, the reality is, and the fact is, and I mentioned this, shout out to Basic Trainer in the chat, we are still to this day and will always be in the niches of the niches. The niches of this hobby, we're very aware of that card. And there were people out there, big brain in it, going, maybe I should get another PSA membership. I did not do that. Shout out to Dan Ketchum Collectibles. I know Dan has his personal eBay membership, and then he also has a business eBay. I don't really understand why. Dan, maybe you can let people know why. But Dan got 2 of those promo cards. Maybe some people did that because that one promo card more or less pays for your entire subscription for the month. Now you get super lucky. The PSA magazine is numbered, which I'm not a buyer of a numbered PSA magazine. I love PSA magazine. I got the old PSA magazine right there. The old SMR with the Charizard. August or September 2017. That's when that... August. I think it's August. Oh, you're really testing the brain now, but I think it's August. Either way, August or September 2017. Beautiful Charizard artwork on the cover. Still sealed. I'm not a PSA numbered guy, though. I'd sell that baby as soon as I got it. But if you were lucky and you got one of those numbered PSA magazines, sell them for a ton of money. So, but Z and Band, good luck to you, man. Good for you for being first in market play. Good for you for taking advantage of that PSA/eBay vault thing, being able to express it onto the market. I'm very curious to see what that card sells for, especially in a PSA 10. I'm going to be transparent. Seems like One Piece has good print quality for a lot of people. I would be curious if when I get my card in the mail, if the Beckett Black Label is a play. I would be interested. And worst case scenario is if you grade it with Beckett. You know, right now, Beckett just dropped their price. I don't know if you guys know. It's $14.99 without subgrades, $17 or $17.99. I forgot. I don't grade with Beckett that often. $16.99 or $17.99 if you want to grade with subgrades. So whatever. Let's just call it $20. It's not even $20. It's cheaper than that. Let's say $20. You want to probably express grade it. See if you get the Black Label. Either way, you spend a couple bucks at Beckett. If it's a field grade and play, if you get that Beckett 9.5, worst case scenario, you got to crack it out of your Beckett 9.5 holder. Then you got to spend another $15 to send the PSA, and you're at least going to get the PSA 10. So that might be a play. Do the black label play. It will be something I look into. But so those are 2 of the topics. We've made it through 2 topics. I'm 34 minutes into this video. Oh boy. Next topic. PokePost promos. The ones I talked about where they were in Europe, now they're in America. Well, anyways, they're on Pokemon Center right now. You can get those promos. The caveat to it is you have to buy like specialty bundles that PokemonCenter.com put together. These bundles are garbage. They're like plushies and Rayquaza V box, like deck boxes, and like starter decks. They're just the worst. Build and battle stadiums are not build and battle stadiums. What are they called? Oh, I can't even think of the name. The things. Not build and battle stadiums. Build and battle boxes. What are they called? Like to learn how to play the game. Shout out to Rusty TCA Gaming. Rusty graded 1,000,000 of the Charizards. What were they called? So for a while it was like the Charizard, Gyarados, and Raichu came in. What are they? Oh, Battle Academies. Yes. The Battle Academies. Like, you got to buy that product. Literally the worst products on PokemonCenter.com is what you have to buy to get these promos. Yeah. Like, Rayquaza V and Noivern V. Like, V boxes. Not V boxes with packs, just V starter deck boxes. The worst. And then they throw in a couple plushies too, so it jacks up the price to like $50, $80, $70. The best products they had were the ones that had Pokemon TCG packs in it. One of them was three-pack blisters of Crown Zenith, but for the three-pack blisters, so you get 9 packs in total, it still worked its way out to be $59.99 because they also threw in 3 of like the Score Bunny, Sobble, and Grookey keychain plushie things. Like, they threw in things you would never want. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you guys love Pokemon, but are you really into the Grookey, Sobble, and Score Bunny keychain plushies? Probably not. So you have to buy those products in order to get, like, the actual 9 packs of Crown Zenith. But that product sold out instantly. Then there was another one that had, like, a couple of the knockout boxes in it, 2 Pokeballs, but then it also had like a Surfetch and a Toxtricity plushie in it. So you still got to buy the 2 plushies. So in order to get 2 Pokeball tins plus the 2 knockout boxes, it costs you $72.99. It is rough. I didn't buy any of these. I just couldn't get over how shitty the products were. Sometimes you just gotta pass on stuff. I'm just gonna probably pass on these. What I'm really hoping for is that we see another drop with just not garbage products in it. This is Pokemon's way to move through some trash. I don't know. There's like a World of Fun bundle that has like a trainer mini exploration guide for like Johto and Kanto and Galar, and then it has 3 plushies that come with it, and it's $80.99. There's not even a pack of cards in this thing. For $80.99 you get 4 books and 2 plushies, and you get the promo cards. Like, it's dark out there. It's dark. Yeah, the cheapest one was a Battle Academy. You bought the Battle Academy, and then you bought a couple, like, random sleeves. Like, there's one that has, like, a Pikachu, Butterfree, Eevee. And then, I don't even know what is the other one. Wheel Lord? Can't even tell. Wait, no. Yeah. Don Dude Dozo? I don't even know. I'm looking at it's dark. I don't want them. I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass on that. So, anyways, these are my rants. Should we talk about Twilight Masquerade now? Twilight Masquerade, still available if you want them. Not really the best price anymore. You could pick them up for, like the $90. Now you got to spend a little over $100. Still go on Hills Wholesale Gaming. Still got cases available for Twilight Masquerade. I told you, I picked up one a while back. I'm still feeling good about it. Twilight Masquerade, probably really likely on the reprint block, but I think it's always good to just pick up one case of stuff just to see what happens, because I'm looking at the price of that Greninja right now, and I'm asking myself the question of the what if. What if Twilight Masquerade does not get reprinted? Because right now we are in the moment. We are living in the exact moment, minute, second of when Twilight Masquerade is the most current set. Think about it in your head. Close your eyes, rub your temples, and think about it. When you go into your Target or Walmart today, what's going to be on the shelves? Twilight Masquerade. Going to have your Twilight Masquerade 3-pack blisters, 2-pack blisters, single-pack blisters, ETBs. But what about all these older sets? It's very simple. As time goes on, what's on the shelf changes. Surprise, surprise, you made it down the rabbit hole to hear the most obvious statement ever told in the history of this hobby. But if Twilight Masquerade doesn't get reprinted, which I don't know what Pokemon's reprinted right now. I would have told you Pokemon's going to reprint 151. We haven't really seen that reprint of 151 yet. I really thought it was going to happen. Time's going even ticking for that. We're already into a new specialty set with Shrouded Fable. Now, Pokemon is moving into the Dragon set that's potentially right around the corner. We've now seen those terrestrial Eevees with a hat. Everybody in this hobby, for some reason, loves Pokemon with hat on it. Shout out to Pikachu in a gray felt hat. Everyone loves that Pikachu gray felt hat. Talking about promos, talking about the Pokestop promos, talking about the Pikachu in a gray felt hat promo. Still, listen, I'm happy with that promo right there. Beautiful promo. One of the biggest missed opportunities in the history of this hobby by Pokemon is missing their opportunity. Instead of doing a Pikachu with a gray felt hat, they should have did a Moonbreon right there. Am I pointing to the right thing? Right there. Vincent Van Gogh's Starry Night. We needed a stupid Moonbreon staring up at the moon in Vincent Van Gogh's Starry Night. Biggest wasted opportunity that Pokemon ever had. Right? Oh, right. So right where my finger is, that's Pikachu with gray felt hat. Still not bad. Missed opportunities. Missed. Umbreon from Vincent Van Gogh's Starry Night, looking up at the moon. $bazillion card. The best card Pokemon. Remember this. The newest card is always the best card Pokemon ever puts out. But that would have been the best card ever. There's a funny conversation to be had with what is the best artwork. Artwork's subjective, always has been, always will be. But do you, and this is a good question to ask yourself, and you don't really have to answer this. Do you think that the greatest artwork that Pokemon has ever produced has already happened? Or do you think that the greatest artwork Pokemon will ever produce is still coming in the future? And that's a good question. And the reason why I ask that question is because if you think that the greatest artwork Pokemon will ever put out has already happened, then that means that in the future there's nothing but downhill because we've already seen the peak of the mountain. But if you believe that the greatest artwork Pokemon has ever produced has even happened yet, and you think that that artwork will happen in the future, that means that you believe that the artwork's going to keep getting better. And if artwork keeps getting better, it doesn't take much in this hobby. Other hobbies, it takes a lot for people to get excited. In this hobby, it doesn't take much. It takes 2 crappy promos bundled with a bunch of trash from PokemonCenter.com. It takes a Pikachu with a hat on it. It takes Pikachu with clothes on it. It takes Pokemon to just not say a single card that's in the set, a single product, but just through the leaks of copyright, like preparing a copyright for the glory of Team Rocket. Just that line, the glory of Team Rocket, got this entire hobby speculating like crazy. Pokemon doesn't have to do much. They put one Pokemon Center stamp on a card. It changes the value of that card by 100%. You know? There's so much that Pokemon can do. The question of will they ever do it? Maybe. Do they have to do it? That's the question I always want to ask you guys. And I think it's the most important question is, do they have to? And if the answer is no, then I think Pokemon needs to keep doing what they're doing for as long as they possibly can until they have to, actually reach their hand into that bag of tricks and pull out a rabbit. A lot of people, and I've talked about it on a million lives, it's like serialized cards. Serialized cards is a rabbit in the hat that at any point Pokemon could pull that rabbit out of the hat. I hope that they don't ever do that, because for me, serialized cards is indicative of a more dying TCG, because I don't think TCGs do serialized cards out of a want. I always think they do it out of a need. And as long as Pokemon doesn't have to start doing stuff out of a sheer need, meaning a sheer need that, all right guys, Pokemon IP is going to zero, we're not selling any more cards. I was watching a PK Live the other day, and PK said the greatest set that Pokemon will ever produce is a Super Smash Brothers set for Pokemon. We already know that Pokemon could dip their hands into Nintendo IPs. It's Pokemon, it's Nintendo. We know it's already happened. Shout out to Mario and Luigi boxes. Unfortunately, Japan got them. English never got Mario and Pikachu promos. But we know they could. And what is it? It's literally Pikachu with clothes on. But what clothes are they? They're Mario and Luigi's clothes. Well, you could also play as Mario in Super Smash Brothers. There's also a Pikachu in Super Smash Brothers. There's also a Samus. There's a Fox. There's a Falcon. There's a million different Nintendo IPs all in Super Smash Brothers. And what do? You take a bunch of Pokemon and you start putting clothes on them to make those clothes look like the characters from Super Smash. And what do you have? You have a set that it doesn't matter. Screw Team Up, screw Evolving Skies, screw Flash Fire, screw Platinum Arceus, screw any of the Heart Gold Soul Silvers, screw any of the Diamond and Pearls, screw any of the Gold Star sets. You heard it here. Suck it, Team Rocket Returns. You heard it here. Suck it, Skyridge. And I love Skyridge. Skyridge is my favorite set. And suck it, base set. Because all those sets are meaningless at that point. There will only be one set that will now be King of Kings. Just like King Arthur is the King of Kings. Just shout out to the original Aegon the Conqueror from Game of Thrones. Aegon the Conqueror, the man, the myth, the legend, the dragon rider who was able to unite the Seven Kingdoms, something that has never been done. That is what that Super Smash Brothers set will be. It will be the King of Kings, and there will never be anything to ever match that. But my, Pokemon does not need to pull that rabbit out of their hat. But if they did, they can just... How much money they make? All the money. All the money? How much money is in the hobby? Because they win. They win. There is no other. It's just, they could print it. They can make a press release that say, we are going to make a Pokemon Super Smash Brother set. It's going to have Pikachu with clothes on it. And that Pikachu is going to be dressed up as every Super Smash Brother character. Shout out to, Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Snake. Now imagine Pikachu, but dressed up with clothes on as Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Take my money. Here you go. Here you go, Pokemon. Just take my money. I don't want this money anyways. This is your money now. All I want is this shiny cardboard. And they could put out a press release that says, normally we put out 4 main expansions per year. We put out a couple of specialty sets. They could do a couple PK lasers and go pew, 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 and not put out anything else for the year and just say we're only going to load shelves with Super Smash Brothers for all of 2029. 2029 from January 1st to December 31st is the only time you're able to buy this. And on December 31st, it's retiring. And for that entire year, there will be no Pokemon on any shelves, in any store, in any place, not just in the country, not in North America, not in Europe, not in Asia, not in Africa, not in Australia, not in Antarctica. There will be nowheres on this planet where you will be able to walk in and buy Pokemon cards because the Super Smash Brothers set would exist. That is a rabbit Pokemon could pull out of their hat at any point. I hope they don't have to do that. While I would love that to happen, they don't need that to happen. Pokemon could do whatever they want. Pokemon has so many, and that is the most dream set of mine. But the hobby loses its freaking mind over Pikachu in a gray felt hat. That promo broke the hobby. How many videos existed with I bought that's my hat. I made a hat. I have my own Pikachu in a hat. I had PK in a gray felt hat. That promo broke the hobby. Special Livery Charizard, which is a half art, everybody with full art cards, questionable. That card broke the hobby. These are single release promos. A main just monster killer set like that would break the hobby. You have people talking about the glory of Team Rocket. I think it's going to be a great set. It will not be a break the hobby type set. I think if Pokemon does it in the right way, it could be a set that has like really good legs and could have long-term chase to it and long-term desirability. I think the key factor for long-term chase and long-term desirability for that is Pokemon has to do something that we've never really seen them do much, and they have to just crank the dial a little bit and make it a little bit more adult style artworks. And by adult style artwork, I mean that mean artwork. The thing that I think Pokemon cards are lacking a little bit. There are some really cool. EX Team Rocket Returns. This is it. Look at the screen right now. That's a mean Moltres. Team Rocket's Moltres. That's a mean Moltres. Agree? Agree. Agree to disagree? Agree. If that doesn't make sense, that's fine. Either way, agree to disagree. Love these old PSA slabs. But, oh wait. That's not why it's rattling. It's because I put that freaking coin in trying to show off on the beginning of this video if you were to put an air tag in it. That's what was rattling. I thought that was the card for a second. I was like, oh boy. Yeah. We need mean artworks. That's what we need. Anyways, guys. Here we are. Snowy with the super chat says, we love you, PK. Snowy, appreciate you too, buddy. Love you too. So now we'll talk about Jersey Collecticon, Charlotte Collecticon. We're getting real close to both. If you guys are going to be at either one, I recommend going to either Jersey, and I'm probably going to be at Charlotte. As soon as this video is over, I'm booking my hotel room. I'm booking flights. I'm not going to be there for long, but I'm definitely going to be there for at least... I'll probably get in on Friday, like super early in the morning. I got stuff I got to do on Friday, stuff that I'm looking forward to doing. And then on Saturday, I'll be around the convention all day. And then I'll probably be leaving like Sunday morning-ish. Maybe Saturday night. Probably not Saturday night. But it's going to be quick. Charlotte's going to be like a flash in the pan for me. But New Jersey, I will be there for a while. We'll be able to enjoy myself there. But if you guys are looking for any events, go there. I do have to sell a lot of money at Jersey for my wife to even let me go to Charlotte, but I'm so confident that I'll be able to move through a lot of product that I think Charlotte is definitely possible. I hope. I don't know. We'll see. But if you're going to be there, feel free to walk up to me. Let me know that you're one of the few people left that actually watch this channel. I know I haven't been making content a lot lately, but that will change. I'm just busy. So busy. Life, kids, work. So much going on. There is no rest for the wicked. Money doesn't grow on trees. I got bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. Nothing in this world's for free. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Katie said, here we go. Yes, here we go. Number one mod in the game, Drew. Congrats, buddy. How you doing? Drew, how's the baby doing? The babies must be getting old. Gotta be a few months. Time goes by fast, huh? Drew, number one mod in the game. Also, number one newest father in the game. Is anybody here watching this video recently had a kid? Is there a newer dad besides Drew? I think Drew might be the newest of all the dads. But yeah, big shout out to Drew. We got Namp90 in here. Pokekid, good to see you. I think Pokekid's going to be in Jersey. I'm looking forward to seeing you, Pokekid. Fresh Tat said, why PK looking like yesterday? What was I looking like yesterday? Yesterday? What does that mean? Is yesterday a person? So Shug Nasty said, thieves put in the con in Collecticon. Ooh, I like it. So Katie, she has a good point. She said, absolutely hate to say it, but honestly, I'm surprised that theft isn't higher at these events. Yeah. I mean, I think... Yeah, I mean, there's a couple examples that I could think of like, so obviously we got 1.5 million, but in the Pokemon hobby, I mentioned that Team Rocket box got stolen from Card Party 1. But shout out to Gary King Pokemon. Gary King Pokemon had 2 first edition Charizard stolen. One Beckett 9.5 and was it like a Beckett 9? I know he had 2 first edition Charizard stolen. Or maybe it was first edition 9.5 and then a Shadowless 9. Either way. Close to $50,000 plus worth of cards. Gary got those cards back. Somebody stole them out of his book bag while he was at the Denver Collecticon. Luckily, that person that sold those cards was an idiot, and this is one thing we have to hope for. That thieves in this hobby are at least stupid, because that thief in the hobby was dumb enough to try to sell Gary's cards still in the same holders with the same cert numbers. In this hobby, there's not a lot of people that have graded a lot of first edition or Shadowless Charizards. We know those people. That person's name is Gary King Pokemon. There's 122... Well, there was 123 PSA 10 first edition Charizards graded by PSA. It's 122 now because Logan Paul cracked his PSA, resubmitted it with Beckett, ended up getting that Beckett 10, so it dropped the pop from 123 to 122. Gary King Pokemon graded 59 of those Charizards. Out of a total ever graded in the history of this hobby of 123, Gary's graded more or less 50% of every Charizard that has ever existed in just first edition. Now in Shadowless, Gary has graded a ton of those Charizards too. Gary, when it comes to just the PSA 10 population of Charizards, is in huge percentages, numbers that will never be matched. There will never, and you could quote me on this, and I believe this in my heart of hearts, there will never be a person in this hobby that will ever grade more PSA 10 first edition Charizards percentage-wise than Gary. There will never be anybody to break Gary's percentage. Just think about that. Gary, for now until the end of time, I don't know how long, the Earth is 4.7 billion years. If the Earth lives for another 4.7 billion years, in the next 4.7 billion years, there will never be another human being that will grade more PSA 10 first edition Charizards than Gary King Pokemon. Think about it. But the fact that that person trying to sell that card was dumb enough to, sell it to somebody who clearly knew Gary. They just picked up the phone and called Gary. It was like, Gary, I got some random dude trying to sell me some Beckett 9.5 first edition Charizards. Do you know anything about that? And then Gary was like, well, yeah, I do happen to know a little something about that Charizard. It was stolen from me at Denver Collecticon. Luckily, he got it back. The person that bought those cards from the people were able to buy it through PayPal Friends and Family, able to put a stop on it because there was already police reports written about those cards and stuff. Everything worked out great. So, when Katie says, I'm surprised how there isn't more theft, it's like, I'm surprised there's not more theft too, But luckily, hopefully, that the people who are doing the stealing will always be dumber, Let's see. The Real Tech Geek says, epic rant of the night here. Here we go. Love this kind of stuff. That's what I do. I don't know why. I don't know how this channel turned in from what it did. It used to be a meme channel, and then it just turned into a rant channel, and I don't even know what this is now. I'm going to thank you guys from the deepest depths of my heart. If you are still watching these videos, or you are still listening to these rants after all these years, this channel is going on 4 or 5 years. I can't even keep track anymore. We're coming on like half a decade. No, 2020. Well, we're only okay. We're not at 5 years. We're at 4 years. 4 years of me. For the first year, never showed my face. Was afraid to show my face. Don't know why, but I was. Everyone tells me I got a face for radio. I don't know what that means. Maybe you could let me know. Face for radio and a voice for a 13-year-old. Don't know what either one of those comments mean. Face for radio, voice of a 13-year-old. Doesn't matter. Didn't show my face for the first year. But, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But I thought that was pretty funny. So Mick Nick said, just another reason why Kurt Splooge is the devil. So I think he's talking about like the fingerprints of cards. So if people were to crack those cards and then put it through the Kurt Splooge, that potentially that they could alter that, call it the fingerprint of those cards. I guess that's possible. So number one mod in the game said the new baby has been great too and sleeping well. It seems to get easier after each kid. Drew, it's that those first like month or two is the worst with a new baby because you're doing the 2-hour feeds, and especially at night for me when me and my wife had our kids, I was working through the day, but my wife was taking care of the kids through the day. So at night I was trying to do my very, very best to give her a break. So even though I was still working during the day, because she was with the kids and she could see how tired she was, I was doing all those 2 a.m., 4 a.m. feeds with the kids, and it's a rough. Ugh. Let's see. Drew Teeny said he just graded a Greninja and sold for $800. Wow, good for you, man. That's wild. That Greninja card is wild. Twilight Masquerade. We're coming into this weird situation. Twilight Masquerade. I know it's going to all be dependent on reprints. The sealed product for Twilight Masquerade right now, today, is undervalued. I'm just saying it. It's undervalued. Pick up a case. Pick up one. Okay? Pick up one case. Twilight Masquerade. You go on Hills Wholesale Gaming. I think their cases are $595 right now. I know it's a boomer website. You can't check out on your phone. If you have a phone, it's going to suck. You got to go on a computer. I've tried to check out on Hills on my phone many years ago. Impossible. Got to do it on a computer, and no, they do not have free shipping. U.S. Ground Advantage is like $20. So yeah, it's going to be like $614 or whatever at checkout. So whatever, it's like $103 per $102, $102 and change per box. I don't know what the future Twilight Masquerade looks like, but I think it's bright, and if there is no reprints for Twilight Masquerade, it will be a wild set in the future. It's going to be weird, too, because we're running into this Dragon set coming out. We're running into Evolutions with hats on. We're running into the Glory of Team Rocket set that's come out. We're coming into a weird timeline. I don't know how any of this is going to play out in the long term. If you can't afford it, don't do it. But if you can afford it, I recommend doing it. Just pick up one. Put it in the corner. Take your Apple AirTag, throw it in the case. So when that case is worth a lot of money and somebody steals it, you can get it back in the future. Yeah, Greaves Collect says, don't be an absolute moron and leave your case of $1.5 million cards alone that long. Yes. So Katie said, imagine a camera with a bait box. Yeah. So Basic Trainer said, this is good. Basic Trainer said, forget vendor POV content. We need con theft POV content. Basic, you are on to a 1 million view Pokemon video. Well edited. But is it entrapment? I don't know what the definition of entrapment is. Somebody let me know. Let's see. Trev said, damn, I just popped in, thought he was ripping some crazy shit. My boundaries crossed, booster box. Yes. Shugna says, I love those thief steals bike in the hood prank videos. I've seen those before. It's like somebody goes to steal a bike and then they have like a long rope tied to it going down a hill, and you'll see, is that stuff illegal? But like the thief will ride the bike super fast trying to steal the bike going down the hill, and then the rope just finally like gets taut, and then they just go flying off these bikes. Yes. Fat Belly Collect says, open the case and it's a glitter bomb. I mean, is it a glitter bomb or is it just a booster box full or booster case full of G.I. Joe packs? Is the Logan Paul fake first edition booster box case, is that the glitter bomb of the Pokemon hobby, to open it up and then just have a bunch of G.I. Joe packs in it? people don't talk about the fact enough about that first edition case. A little mini rant. I'm going to make this less than a minute long. People do not talk about the fact enough how Rattle exposed that case, but more importantly, how Rattle was able to actually tell you how many of those booster boxes inside of that case were going to have a first edition stamp on it, and how many of those booster boxes in that case were not going to have a first edition stamp on it, which all the boxes were fake. All the packs were G.I. Joe cards, but the boxes themselves, the actual box, were fake booster boxes. But Rattle was even able to identify how many of those would have first edition stamps on it and how many wouldn't. That, if you take any of the most impressive things of Rattle's breakdown, was that because Rattle was able to identify from other videos where the fake first edition cases were shown in other photos and weren't in that case. That is probably the most impressive part of that entire saga, how deep Rattle was able to uncover. The fact that he knew that the cases inside were fake, and that he knew how many first edition fake boxes are going to be. That, good for you, Rattle. You don't get enough credit for that. So Katie said, here's the title. I left a fake Skyridge box inside a Comic-Con full of explosive confetti. You won't believe what will happen, or what happens next, yes. Mick Nick said, preparation meets opportunity, yes. So Cardboard Collector says he needs an AirTag for his Infernape IR binder. Is Infernape going crazy right now? Let's see. Kevin Clare said Detective Pikachu at it again. Ooh, that's good too. So you put a fake box that you want somebody to steal so you could expose this person as stealing stuff, but then you're dressed up as Detective Pikachu. That's big braining. Kevin Clare. Was that Kevin Clare? Yes. Big braining. Let's see. Got to the point where Z and Band said how he sent to the One Piece. Yes. So Shug I didn't even think about this. So Shug Nasty said, I'm curious to see how many Japanese buyers will be looking to pick up the One Piece PSA promo. He's seen a few Twitter posts from Japanese accounts talking about it. Shug Nasty, I've thought about a lot of different scenarios. I've never considered what you just mentioned. So what Shug Nasty's saying is, obviously, One Piece is super big in English right now, super big in the Americas and stuff. Prices for the One Piece products going crazy. We just saw reprints of Romance Dawn, brought the booster boxes down. But the big demand for One Piece is that Japanese market. Obviously, Japanese cards, same way as Pokemon is Japanese cards, One Piece, it's the same way. Ton of demand for One Piece in Japan. And you can make the argument that the collector base for Japan One Piece way outweighs, any English demand. That is a great point that he put. That card is not available in Japan. The same way as I mentioned earlier in today's video when I talked about Pikachu with clothes on and talked about, the Mario Pikachu and the Luigi Pikachu boxes, Japanese exclusive boxes. We never got those promos in English. This is a reverse. Flip-flop. We finally got an English One Piece promo that Japan hasn't gotten. It'll be very interesting to see if a lot of the demand comes from Japan. Never thought about that, Shug Nasty. That is I'm going to need like a week to think about this. Next live, I want to touch base on Shug Nasty's comment, because that is something is very rare. I like to think I think things through, and I never considered that fact, that Japanese buyers do not have access to that promo card and what that will mean on the secondary market. Never thought about that. Fascinating. Good for you, though. Peeked at you. Good to see you, dude. So Pikachu said, PK, hope you're doing well. Thoughts on that $750 plus Greninja sale from Twilight? Well, Peek, yeah, you got the guy in the chat who sold that card, so you can ask him yourself, what do you think of that sale? Great. I mean, this hobby is disgustingly strong. I mean, it's wild. Anybody that thinks this is a dying hobby, I don't know. You must see seals like that and just stick your head in the freaking sand, or stick your fingers in your ear and just hum and close your eyes and just live your life like you're the Helen Keller of the hobby, because you can't see anything that's going on, can't hear anything that's going on. Sorry. Did I make a Helen Keller joke? Maybe. Do I feel bad about it? Kinda. We're just gonna move on, pretend like that never happened. Let's see. So Peek the Chew's talking about all the bundles that Pokemon's doing right now. He says, smart way for Pokemon to move slow product. Yes, with those. So Mod said, I didn't recognize that they were the Poke Post promos, but I placed an order anyways. The best deal was the Crown Zenith packs, yeah, because at least you got packs. And Crown Zenith being a good set. You know, Crown Zenith is a good set. Crown Zenith Coughing. Great set. Fun to open. Overshadowed by 151, but I would say that the pack opening experience is greater than the 151 pack opening experience, in my opinion. Yes, 151 has that 151, chase to it. Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, Mew, yeah, we get it. We know all the 151. But Crown Zenith, I think, is overall just seems like you just get a hit out of every single pack. Whether it's, even if it's a crappy hit. Hoopa V, not a great hit, still a hit, So, Cardboard Collector, did he say Twilight? Haktui? No. He said, talk Twilight and buy, then Fernape. Is that it? Are we shilling in Fernape tonight? I don't even know. Why are we doing that? Don't know. We got Drew dropping the PK emojis. Appreciate you. Ooh. Alright, hold on. I think I got to the point where people start to speculate. Right now in the chat, speculate. If you could have a Pokemon Super Smash Bros. Crossover, what would be your ideal Pokemon with clothes on? Because Kevin Clear said Charizard with a Mega Man hat on. I love the thought of that. Charizard with the Mega Man hat. Do we give Charizard like the Mega Man gun? I have a... Ooh. Got a Mega Man booster box somewhere over there. I don't know where it is. But I love the thought of a Mega Man Charizard. There's so many opportunities. But write down in the chat right now, tell me if you could have one Super Smash Bros. Character, who would be the Pokemon? And who would you make them into for Super Smash Bros.? Would the Ditto be the glove, right? And it's gotta be the Ditto with the glove. You just have like this stupid, I don't know, what's it called? The glove? Is it just called the hand, the glove from Super Smash Bros.? But would the glove just be Ditto, like a big white Mickey Mouse glove, but with a Ditto face on it? I could see that. That would be kind of sick, actually. That would be really sick. There'd be a lot of sick stuff. And think of like all the item cards, like the red hammer, like the Super Smash Bros. You get the red hammer, you just go crazy because you're always Pikachu, and everybody would be fighting. You just be that guy that ruined their party, and just, you'd be playing in, Link's, or was it like Link's Temple or Zelda? It was Link's Temple, not Zelda's. I think it was called Link's Temple. But everybody be on the other corner of the map, and you'd be just, respawning. You just come as Pikachu, and you just run over, and then you jump in, and you thunderbolt everybody, and everybody goes flying, and everybody's mother effing you because you're trying to have an actual fight, and you just keep thunderbolting everybody. Stop playing with Pikachu. I love myself some Pikachu in Super Smash Brothers. Let's see. Apocalypse says, Red with Zard, Ivy with Squirtle, Altar, SAR, Tag Team, Gold Card, please. I don't know if that was... Pokemon Collector says, PK, have you purchased a case of Japanese 151 yet? No. No, I have not. But I have a reason, and it's going to come out soon what that reason was, but no. I need to, especially if problem is I don't know. Yeah. I got a reason, but it hasn't happened yet. So Thrift Handy said, loose Evolving Skies packs are really drying up out here, PK. Yes, they are. Evolving Skies packs are becoming... So what is... There's... I'm going to just tell all you guys, like, obviously we don't live close to each other, but there's... I'm trying to think of all, like, the good Evolving Skies products. I can't think of the numbers off the top of my head. Damn. But, it's Empoleon tins. What is it? What's, like, the code on... I don't know. So there's Empoleon tins, have some Evolving Skies packs in it. Recently, the Eevee Heroes tins had it, but the most recent Eevee Heroes drop on Pokémon Center, they replaced the 2 Evolving Skies packs with 2 Brilliant Stars packs in it. And then for those, it was the Sylveon, the Umbreon, and who was the third tin? I don't remember. Yes. Anyways, Evolving Skies packs are drying up. There's a couple tins that still have them. You could pick them up, but you've got to pick them up. Like I said, you notice all the products I said Evolving Skies are in. They're all tins, meaning you can't see the products that are inside. Obviously, there's a bunch of Pokeballs that still have Evolving Skies in it. You got to know the numbers of the Pokeballs, because when people are walking through their Walmart, like, if they don't recognize how to read the bottom, it's like the difference between, like, a D23 tin and the difference between a D21 tin. The difference is Cosmic Eclipse. You know, like, there's big differences on versus a D21 versus a D23. So, if you understand, like, the numbers of some of these Pokeballs and some of these products, like, you can get lucky and pick up the Evolving Skies. But, yeah, to be able to walk in, it was a while where it was, like, it was the Leafeon... V-Star boxes. A bunch of them had Evolving Skies in it now. Then they did the later print runs of those Leafeon, and there's like the Leafeon and Glaceon V-Star boxes. They had Evolving Skies packs in it. The later print runs didn't have it, but those are all collection boxes, so you could literally pick it up when you're in the store, look at it, and say, okay, this is not the one that has Evolving Skies in it. But any of those collection boxes that have Evolving Skies, yeah, they're instantly selling out in store. So you have to, like, it's getting hard. You got to pick up tins. And then, if you know what you're looking for, you can go on eBay, and you can start to pick up tins on eBay. This is the problem with those. With so many tins, there was so many different reprints. With, you know, a perfect example being when Evolving Skies came out, there was the Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon tin. The packs that were inside it was 1 Fusion Strike, 1 Evolving Skies, 1... Sword and Shield base, and I forget what the 4th pack, and I want to say it was like Rebel Clash, but that was that original print run of those tins, $19.99, and at least you got a Fusion Strike pack and you got an Evolving Skies pack. They reprinted those tins and they ended up putting like really shitty packs in it. So you can't. This is a problem with some of the tins. Is one, you don't know what's in it if you don't know like the timeline you bought it, and then the problem for resale value for some of these tins is everybody's just going to always assume that the tins you are selling are always going to be the shittier tins. That's why tins get really tricky. At least with collection boxes, you always have the window. You can actually see the pack selection that are in there. It's even like a lot of Celebrations product too. Celebration, go look at some of your old Celebrations product. Did you tuck away some Lance's Charizard boxes? Did you tuck away some Dark Sylveon boxes? Well, guess what? In some of the runs for the Dark Sylveon boxes and some of the runs for the Lance's V Charizard boxes for Celebrations, obviously you have your 4 Celebration packs that comes with it, but then there was a bunch of them that had Evolving Skies in it too. Then the print runs changed for the Dark Sylveon boxes, and some of the Dark Sylveon boxes didn't have Evolving Skies. It's just, we could do this. It's a big circle, right? It's like some products, but yes. That comment, Thrifty Hardy said, loose Evolving Skies packs are really drying up out here. I feel you, man. I am really, really scraping the bottom of the barrel of all the knowledge that I have of all these products, trying my best to pick up, you know, packs. It's getting rough. And the problem is I'm now valuing these packs in my head at $15. So when I'm going to buy products, I'm, you know, if I could pick up shit for $20 and I could value one of those packs in there for $15, I'm going to do it. You know, this is a whole video. Do you guys want a long video? We could do a long video. But there was recently I made a a video, and in that video I talked about how I think people are just crazy. There was like one guy walked into a local local LGS store, and he had a really nice sealed pack collection. I talked about it, and he ended up taking 65% for it, which for sealed product, I told you guys, don't ever take 65% like value for sealed product. And people are asking me, what should they take? And I said, at a minimum, you should be looking at 85%. And if you really know how to shop around, maybe get 90% for some of this stuff. There were some comments on that video that really tried to flame me, and it was just ridiculous. But recently, somebody sold Dan Catch 'em All Collectibles like a bunch of products that they got, and they posted, I can't find the spreadsheet, but they put, let's see if I can find it, flippers here. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up, because if you guys want to stick around, this is gonna be a really good, like, for me to prove my point. Like, you shouldn't be, let's see. All right, I'm going to pull up the spreadsheet because they shared the spreadsheet for you so we could go through it. How much money that they paid for this stuff and what they were able to sell it to Dan Catch 'em All Collectibles for. And guess what they sold it for? 85% TCG player prices. So I don't know why people think that that's like a crazy thing. Let's see. Sorry, I wasn't prepared to. All right, let's see if I can do... Alrighty. We're getting there. Hold on. If you guys are sticking around, you are the real ones. Let's see. Oh yeah. This is a hell of a spreadsheet. I appreciate them doing this. It shows like how many hours it took them to break down these packs. It shows exactly how much money he made. Alright, so pretty much background of this, so Dan Azard was the one that did it. Dan Azard, appreciate the transparency, appreciate you showing the spreadsheet. So Dan Azard, I'll read you what he wrote. So he went to a Sam's Club, and Sam's Club was selling boxes for 51. He bought 51 of the boxes at $30 each, 262 boxes at $20 each. So what happened was the floor manager at his local Sam's wanted him to take all the product off his hands so they could free up the pallet, and it ended up being 2 pallets. All said and done, if you guys want to pause this video, look at the numbers. So out of all the packs, these are all the total packs that he got. So, 520 Brilliant Stars packs, 1,560 Silver Tempest, Lost Origin 1,040, Astral Radiance 260, Fusion Strike 260. Like how much money it cost him to spend on all this stuff. How many total packs here, how much everything. He went on TCG Player. He got the TCG Player price. 85% of that. So like Brilliant Stars packs on TCG Player, $3.75. 85% of that, $3.18. And then all the packs in total, how much he sold those packs for, $13,902. His total cost was $6,860. He literally broke it down. So per hour to break down these boxes, he was making $347 an hour. And he sold this stuff instantly, meaning he went into his local Sam's Club. He bought all the product they had. Some of the boxes at 30, some of them at 20. Good deal came up. He took advantage of it. He went home and instantly in that day picked up his phone, maybe not in a literal sense. I don't know if he has Dan Catch 'em All Collectibles phone number, but he went on Instagram or Discord, messaged Dan, was like, hey, I bought all this product, would you like it? And Dan said, yes, I'll give you 85% TCG Player price. I made that video saying how I thought somebody selling for 65% was dusted, and people were like giving me pushback. Dan Zard went out, spent $6,800, and in one message made $6,843. And after all his time and effort putting into it, $347 an hour. That's how much he made. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there with really good jobs. I bet you that most people out there, with the exception of a very, very, very small person, and maybe I can say nobody in this watching this, makes $347 an hour. Dan Azar did that flipping modern Pokemon cards of Brilliant Stars, Silver Tempest, Lost Origin, Astro Radiance, and Fusion Strike. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it. For anybody who was giving me shit about how stupid people are for walking into a local LGS and selling their sealed product collection at 65%. Thank you, Dan Azar. Thank you for making this. Thank you for sharing. Like, Am I the dusted one? Is this my dusted takes? Thank the good Lord that we are an hour and 20 minutes into this. So most people aren't going to see this or part of this, and only the people that really care about this are going to see that. But anyways. Okay. I'm out of water. I'm parched. I went on. I ranted for hour and 26 minutes. Mason Berry said, it's serious when PK pulls out a spreadsheet. It is serious when I pull out the spreadsheet that I didn't do, that somebody else put all the time in to make the spreadsheet. But that's how much money you can make flipping modern Pokemon cards if you're selling at 85%. I said it the other day. I'm going to say it again. In this hobby, you need to get to the point where there's only one word that matters. It's volume, 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 volume. Take it, put it on a shirt, put it on a keychain. I don't care what you do with it. Name your next kid Volume so you never forget. The secret to success right now, today, in this hobby is one word, and that is volume. As always, guys, appreciate every single one of you. Special shout out to number one mod in the game, Drew. Appreciate you dropping in. As always, catch you on the next video.